Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Be Better Golf, and I'm here with Monte Scheinblum. How's it going, Monte?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. All right, so one of the things I really try to do on this channel is give you guys, if you've subscribed to the channel, which I hope you've done, give you guys a lot of value. And I really think this is going to be one of the most valuable videos to you guys for subscribing. So what we're talking about today, Monte, is we have a lot of viewers on Be Better Golf, and also on your website, a lot of members and viewers from Scandinavia, from Minnesota, from Lithuania. We have some people, and other parts of the world that are going into a very deep freeze right now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And a lot of times then when March or April or May, when it finally comes out and they want to get their golf game going again, it takes them until June to like get the rust off and stuff. Do you think it's possible to go into this deep freeze winter that's coming up and come out of it with a faster driver swing?
Well, faster, maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
But not slower.
Okay.
Is the goal.
To maintain, yeah.
Okay, because here's the deal, is all of our swing faults, and I say our, it doesn't mean if it's a person that's picked up the club for the first time or the best tour players in the world, all of our swing faults are no more complicated than a misunderstanding and a misapplication of speed. Okay. That's all they are. We think this is gonna, I mean, we don't get up there and go, oh, I want to swing this funky way because it feels good, even though I know it's going to be slower. Right. Nobody does that. Right. This is, our golf swings are our personal interpretation of what's going to swing the club the fastest and hit the ball the most solid and the straightest. And as we well know, that's not the case. Right. So when you come out of that deep freeze, as you called it, all of your bad habits are either going to be exacerbated, or ones that you've kind of gotten a little bit of control of are going to start to come back a little bit, because that's your default position.
So what would be like a routine or something that you would tell Be Better golfers to be like, hey, if you keep this up and you're pretty consistent with these few things throughout these months, like, you have a good chance of not sliding back too much?
Exactly right. So this is what I tell a lot of people. Even if it, no joke, even if it's a crumpled up piece of paper, a foam ball, one of those little golf wiffle balls that you could literally rip into your wall and it's not going to do anything. The most important thing, our practice swings are hideous. We think they're great. Look at how smooth my practice swing is. But I've shown people all of our practice swings where we think we're smooth and we're doing everything right, the club isn't coming in square because there's no subconscious reaction to
trying to hit something.
Right. And I've proven it to people. They come in, oh, Monte, look at how smooth my practice swing is. Yeah. And if you would have made contact with that ball, you'd have hit it over there.
Right.
So as counterintuitive as this sounds, if you want to maintain your speed, you've got to work on your club face and path coming at the ball square.
Okay.
Because all of the slowdown and swing faults are your brain trying to compensate for a path or a club face that's off. And then you've got to slow down and flip it, hold on, pull with the left elbow to keep it from hooking, all that good stuff. But if you can just take like a 7-iron with that foam ball or a wiffle ball or something, perfect. Okay. And just kind of from here to here, get the ball to fly straight.
So this is a wiffle ball and a 7-iron.
Again, it's like, Monte, how's this going to help me maintain my speed?
Yeah.
Well, slowing down are compensations to get the club square to the target somehow. Okay? So if you're up there and you're just going, you know.
So recap what you did there. You went from where to where?
Basically waist high to waist high, and I had an awareness that the club face was square to the direction I was trying to hit it.
Okay. So to simplify it, I think what you're saying, Monte, is if you can come out of the winter being an expert at hitting a wiffle ball from waist high to waist high with a 7-iron and be like, you're good at that.
And have it fly that way.
Right, right.
You are less likely to lose speed, and you might even gain, because the club is in a better position. Because, here, let's use this.
Yep, this is another foam ball.
Okay, this is a foam ball. So hypothetically, now that was miserable. That would have missed 50 yards to the right.
Yeah, had you extrapolated that all the way out, yeah.
And on video, that swing is not going to look any less correct than the one that I hit straight. But I just purposely went like this with the club face.
Right.
So, you know, quite honestly, club face control is the most important thing in the swing. And when I say that, I don't mean controlling it with your hands or your brain controlling the movement of the club. What I mean by club face control is that it's matching the path and going in the general direction of the target. And if you have that going correctly, you can swing as fast as you want, and your brain will allow it because the club is going to be pointed somewhere toward the target, and your brain won't have to slow the club down to manipulate it.
Well, I think this is terrific from a motor control point of view, as far as like just making your swing better, and you'll need less compensations coming out.
Right.
What can we do as far as like the atrophy of the muscles, so to speak, as far as like we're sitting around more, the days are very short, and we just aren't really getting angry and violent very often.
I get it.
Yeah.
And you know, again, just overall fitness level, you know, is what's important. Don't be sedentary. Because if you're sedentary, it doesn't matter how perfect your swing is, you're going to be slower when you come back. So essentially, you know, there's no way to practice swinging driver as fast as you can and knowing that the ball's going to go straight. Right. Okay? But what you can practice is understanding that your club face is kind of pointed in the general direction of the target at impact, and then having your body be active in some way. Doesn't have to be a golf swing, but just active. And a perfect example of this is when I had my knee surgery in 2017. I was out for 6 months. And so, you know, there you go. There's the winter, okay? And plus I was dealing with an injury. And I was going, during the rehab, I was, you know, going on the treadmill and going on the bike and doing stretching, you know, to get the mobility in the knee back. And then when they said, okay, you can hit balls, but, you know, you can only go from here to here, and you can only hit, you know, wedges and pitches. Well, I spent a month making sure my club face control was at least adequate, and
you never hit past a what yardage, would you say?
Maybe 50 or 60 yards for like a month, okay? And when they said, okay, good to go, don't overexert yourself, but go ahead and go. And I had a playing lesson that first day, and I went out and shot 68 after not playing in 6 months, because I had awareness. Now, you know, once I started getting back into it, you know, it was variable, but I had face control from hitting those little shots. And that's where I said, you know, if people would just do that during the winter time, when they came back, it wouldn't be such a long adjustment period.
So, Monte, you wouldn't put that much value during the winter in doing air swings, and like guys saying like, hey, a couple times a week, like swing like 5 sets of 5 fast swing?
Now, so I know I'm not answering your question, but I'm going to answer your question by answering a different question. So that would be the equivalent of like those speed training sticks and speed training systems. But when you're doing those speed training, you hit balls in conjunction with it out on the range. When you're doing air swings, you're applying speed the wrong way, because the odds of that air swing creating a solid shot and a straight shot is almost zero. Okay. You're not going to be producing good golf swings. You know, that's why, like, you'll see these guys and they'll put that swing speed radar on the ground, and they'll take a golf club or a stick, and they'll like swing and go, oh look, I'm 135 miles an hour, and then they hit a ball on a flight scope or a TrackMan and it's 100. Well, you can swing pretty fast going like that,
Yeah.
that's not going to produce a good golf shot.
So you're saying if all your body's task is just to like produce pure speed,
It's not a good
just
golf swing.
make the number go as high as possible.
That is
yeah.
all by itself.
Yeah.
Doing that in conjunction with hitting balls and seeing the ball flight, yes, that works, but that by itself is going to produce poor results.
All right, let me grab another one of my wiffle balls. This is going to go too far. Okay, let's use it.
One
There's
drill
one.
that I had, someone do, and they had great success with it, and I've told other people, and getting better at golf, kind of people don't always do what they're supposed to do. But one guy in particular, he had a decent little thing in his living room, and I said, just put up 2 barriers, that are about this far apart, and just go from here to here, and make sure you hit the ball in between the 2 barriers. That's gold.
That's great. That's the one thing from the scientists and golf teachers that I've talked to that I would recommend in the winter would be don't get too internal in your feels of what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Even though you're inside and you're away from the golf course, try to keep what you're doing external, meaning like away from your body and onto something, just like you were saying with the wiffle ball here. We're going between 2 things.
The internal external argument, I love that argument.
Right.
You have some people that will say, no, it's all internal. You got to teach people the correct movements, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and then hope that the correct movements will make the good thing happen. Yeah.
And then
an inside-out approach.
And then you've got the other group. Oh, thinking positions and mechanics is no good.
Outside in, yeah.
And you just got to think shot making and target. Both of those extremes are incorrect. Each individual is going to have a proper balance. Some people are going to be 50-50. Some people are going to be 80-20, 20-80. But in order to improve at golf, you have to understand the proper movements, and then you have to use external in order to implement those movements. So it's always a proper balance of both, and not either extreme is the issue.
Now, would you like in the winter to hit like a choked up driver, waist high to waist high, and just try to make it start straight, or would you say no, stick with the 7?
I don't want to say no, because I know some people have had success with that, but generally speaking, swinging driver at a slower speed doesn't produce very good results, okay? Generally speaking, the shorter, slower swings need to be the 7, 8, 9 irons of the world. Driver, you want to be, now when I say 100%, I don't mean taking it back to John Daly and giving yourself a hernia.
Yeah.
I mean, the best results are usually when you are swinging as close to 100% of a regular golf swing.
Yeah.
That's when, they've proven it scientifically.
Yeah.
When you start slowing down and steering it, you get more dispersion. Right. Whereas and the proof in the pudding is that if you look at the PGA Tour statistics, the difference between their average club head speed for the year and their highest club head speed of the year is about 3%. So there's no swing at it 80% and steer it in the fairway. Now, don't get me wrong, there are situational shots, but when you're just trying to hit a good drive down the center of the fairway, swinging close to 100% of your regular within yourself golf swing is usually where you get the best results.
And one thing that I'll share from another pro, that I was on my way to do a 1.5 month long documentary across the country. And before I left, I was talking to Amy Alcott, who won the US Open.
Yep.
And teaches up in LA, or coaches up in LA actually. Anyway, so Amy, I said to her, I was like, well, I'm gonna be going away for a while. Like, how do I like still have some kind of a golf swing? What Amy said she just wanted me to do is bring a golf club with me on this RV. And she just wanted me to make a backswing and just feel this stretch here, and then go on the other side and just feel this stretch here.
I like it.
So just to keep the flexibility and a little bit of the awareness at either end, she had no interest in me like trying to do anything through here. She was just like, even split-handed, I really like it. Just keep your stretch both ways, and especially as you're getting colder and older, just make that part of your routine. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great idea. I'm stealing it.
All right. Okay. But there's another thing that you guys can do inside your houses during the winter to make sure that you come out even faster. And well, really faster and more efficient, I would say. And what's that, Monty?
Oh, shameless promo time.
Okay, what is this? This is something that I've been using a lot, having a lot of fun
Okay,
with.
so this is my training aid. And like any training aids, there are pluses and minuses, but I thought of this, I invented this for one reason and one reason only, and it has other benefits, but for the people that don't understand their swing during the winter when they can't hit the ball, can't hit balls. So it's just, you know, you put it on your wrist, and what it does is it gives you impact awareness.
So if I'm the wall, what are you usually doing with this?
Okay, all you're doing is just making, you know, you're not trying to swing as hard as you can, because you don't want to bust your wall and you don't want to hurt yourself. But like, if you came in open, you know, you're going to come in like this. If you were over the top, you're going to come like this. Whereas this kind of forces you to come in and sequence your swing properly.
And the whole wall is here, so it doesn't go where the ball is. It goes
where the wall is.
Where the wall is, yeah.
So in other words, you're getting your wrist to this spot, so the ball's going to be back there, so you'll have shaft lean. Okay. Yep. So all of our common, faults: sliding, I'd hit the wall first. Upper body lunge, I'd hit the wall first. Coming too far from the inside or over the top, I wouldn't flush the pad on the wall. Okay. So it just gives you a general awareness of where impact should be. And I've already had a lot of successes with people on this. They're like, Monty, the past, 10 years, I'm an 8 handicap and I shoot in the 90s for the first 2 or 3 weeks, when I come back from the winter, until my game reestablishes itself and I reestablish my feels. And just using your little device for, a few minutes a day, I had impact awareness and I had very little drop off, when the spring thaw came. So, it teaches you where proper impact is. It builds awareness, just like the little wiffle ball shot from here to here. Yeah. And it will expose your swing. That's the big deal. It exposes your swing faults,
So let's go through, before we end this video, for the people who have the 300-yard impact or are about to get it, this is the way I've been using it. And for you guys in colder weather, I think this would be a great way. So here, I'll put it on. Sure, Monty. So Monty, tell us how you would like, if people do have a setup in their backyard or basement or wherever with some foam balls, what would be kind of like a protocol as far as okay, do the wall X amount of times or until you feel certain thing, and then hit some foam balls?
This is what I found when you're integrating drills with actual ball hitting. You want to have somewhere between a 3 and a 5 to 1 ratio of actually hitting real balls integrating with the drill. So if you were using this, make 10 swings with it against the wall and then hit 30 swings on the ball, and then go back and forth. That way you're, integrating the movements.
Yeah, definitely. From talking to Dr. Will Wu, who's one of the experts in the country in motor learning, works with the Olympic team. He calls things like this guidance, and he said it has to be very strongly ratioed towards what you're actually doing.
Right.
Most people will do this 100 times and be like, man, if I can only, and then carry it over to 2 or 3 swings, and then, oh no, that's right, let me go back to this. Yeah, it's got to be strongly, like Monty said. So we're going to do that right now, Monty, as you talk. I'll take that from you. You can hold this.
And
be my wall as you talk.
Exactly. So, and the issue that you have here is in the winter time when you can't reinforce it with actually hitting balls, it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing at all.
9, we'll say, and then 10. Okay, and then you'll come over to your foam ball and you'll have 30 of these laid out or in your mind or so. And you're just going to be going, oh, and the great thing about this, because Monty thought about this, here you go, Monty, it comes right off. So very easy to, that's somebody who was asking, what the hell are you talking about flip-flopping? This would be flip-flopping from the thing you're going to this. And then just, there you go.
Nice. Look, if any training aid were perfect, we'd all be plus 10 handicaps and we'd all shoot 65. What you got to do is is golf, getting better at golf. It doesn't matter if it's with a training aid or your practice or improving your golf swing. There's no perfect. It's not bowling. There's no 300 game. You're always going to the lesser of two evils, okay? Now, obviously, ideal is you live in Southern California. We're in the middle of December and it's 68 degrees, okay? In a climate where 6 months out of the year you can't go outside and do anything and you don't have a hitting bay, okay? This is the lesser of two evils. You're built, and the little wiffle ball shots. You're building an awareness of where impact is and where a square club face is pointed, and that will reduce greatly your readjustment time when you actually can go outside.
And I would say don't let it depress you, because if you look at the great players of the world, you would think, like baseball, that 90% of them would be from warm weather places. But in golf, it's totally even. There's people from, there's Henrik Stenson, and then there's also Tiger Woods from Southern California, and everywhere in between. So it's not an excuse. You can definitely still get better. Yeah.
No, I mean, there's always going to be an adjustment period.
Right.
Always. Yeah. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to reduce it.
Yeah.
If you don't touch a club, do that little stretch that Amy said, do the little foam ball drills, do this against the wall, and you just don't do anything for 6 months, you're not going to be very good when you come back.
Yeah.
But if you do all these things we're talking about, you won't step out on the golf course and be just as sharp as you were when you hung the clubs up, but you'll be close enough to it where the adjustment period won't be very long.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Hit the like button and leave a comment. I know Monty's going to be checking out the comments below. Let us know what you're doing in the winter, or things that you've done in past winters that have really helped you, as we try to help each other out. You can check out more about Monty at rebelliongolf.com. And thanks for watching. Bye.